Let's now talk about connotative or referential meaning. These meanings are different from the conceptual meanings we have already talked about. There are probably additional features or additional meanings which are generated by the use of language. And that's why there are also called referential meanings by some semanticists. In short, this is the communication value of a word or a sentence or a piece of language, which is usually understood by the users, the speaker, and the listener of that language. And this may go beyond the conceptual meaning of the language. So, connotative meanings are the additional meanings generated in certain situations, and they are well beyond the basic or conceptual meaning of that language. To a large extent, the notion of reference overlaps with conceptual meaning in order to generate these connotative or referential meanings. So, how a word or linguistic item is used to refer to a certain thing outer in the world, that makes the connotative meanings. And as I said earlier, this is in addition to the conceptual meanings. Let's try to understand that with the help of an example. These are the features of the referent or a segment of the real world which are usually not included in the conceptual meaning. So as I said, that connotative meanings are beyond or are in addition to the basic or conceptual meaning. We all have heard the word woman. We all listen to this word. We have women in our houses. We have women around us. We understand this word very well. Woman conceptually means somebody who is human, is adult, but not male. This is what we generally understand, and we find in dictionaries when we find the meaning of the word woman. But socially, this word may mean different to different societies. And there could be certain additional factors which may be added to the meanings of the word woman in certain situations. And these features may include physical features or psychological or social properties. For example, sociability, a maternal instinct which is very specific to women. When we say the word woman in a certain context, we automatically generate this meaning. For example, women are caring. We usually refer to this maternal instinct which women have with themselves. So there are certain social or psychological factors which help us to develop certain connotative meanings of the words. And it sometimes also includes some socially acceptable or not acceptable elements associated with certain linguistic items or words. For example, certain putative properties of the referent based on certain social viewpoints. The same word we are just talking about, woman. Women are generally known for their compassion, sensitivity, and hard work. And because of this, various meanings of women are discussed in our conversations. In contrast to this, women have also been known as frail, cowardly, and emotional in certain pieces of literature where the dominant males would consider them in this particular way. And in certain male-dominated or chauvinistic societies, this has been the point of view. Even in our own country, we can say that in some backward areas, women are still treated as a frail community. Therefore, the connotations we can say may vary from age to age, from society to society, and from individual to individual. And in such situations, we find different meanings because of these various social viewpoints are being generated every day regarding various words. Consider the following sentence in front of you. You know the way women are. This is a very common statement. I mean, This statement can be interpreted differently by different individuals living in the same situation or living in the same house in some situations. For example, a misogynist may interpret it negatively, and he would consider that women are emotionally weak or irrational, whereas a feminist might take it positively and would consider it referring to women's capacity for sensitivity and compassion. Connotative meanings are concerned with our real life experiences one associates with different expressions or the uses of language. The boundary between the conceptual and connotative meaning is also defined by the language and the real world experiences. A language in a book might have a different meaning, but when it is used in the real world in certain specific situations, it might generate different meanings. So all those meanings which are generated on those specific situations, they may be seen as the connotative meanings. That's why we can say that connotative meanings are peripheral. They are relatively unstable because they vary from situation to situation and from culture to culture. And they are also indeterminate and open-ended. Based on all this discussion, we can say that connotative meanings may be based on the conceptual or basic meanings, but they add to the basic or conceptual meanings, and in some situations they may be well beyond the basic or conceptual meanings. So connotative meanings are usually seen in the light of real life experiences which one user of a language has.